Hi everyone, it's Doranne from Materials Marketing Houston. Welcome to our Manufacturer Spotlight series. In this series, I'll be introducing you to manufacturers that Materials Marketing partners with to share their incredible products with you and show you how they work beautifully with our natural stones. Because Materials Marketing produces custom hand-carved stone elements for commercial and residential projects and for both interior and exterior applications, our partnership with these key manufacturers allows us to take your finished spaces to a whole different level of customization and detail, and all under one roof at our showrooms. As many of you are not able to schedule face-to-face presentations, what a better way to keep you up to date and to show you the many amazing materials that complement Materials Marketing Stone than to introduce you to these other unique products through this video series. Our first series today features Lunada Bay Tile. Materials Marketing has partnered with Lunada Bay for over 20 years. As an authorized dealer for their products in all 9 of our showroom locations across the country. Most of you are familiar with many of their gorgeous glass mosaics, but first we wanted to give you a general overview of Lunada Bay and some of their other inspiring collections. Today I'm talking with Lindy Caldarelli. Lindy is the Southern Region Sales Manager with Lunada Bay Tile and my fabulous rep for the Houston showroom. Lindy, welcome. Thanks for being with me today.
Well, thank you, Doranne. Thank you for having me. This is really exciting to talk about my favorite topic, Lunada Bay Tile.
And we were saying that you're the first one to do this video series. So thanks for being the first and working through me and the kinks that might happen as we go through this very first episode. So
Zoom is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And I was talking about it because I remember coming to Materials Marketing about 14 years ago, and when I first started, how different Lunada Bay Tile was. And it's great to see where you guys are today and how relevant you are in the industry and the design community. And I definitely want to kick it off with kind of a general overview for everyone of what Lunada Bay is, the type of products you carry, and just kind of give everybody a lowdown just to give them the information that they need to specify the product. So because one of the things we love about your product is it goes so well with our natural stone, I wanted to jump in real quick just to talk about a new enhancement on our website, just so everybody could see where to go to reference our stone, because these products all work so well together. So I'm just going to jump over here to our website, and everybody can go here to our colors link now. And if you click on that link, it's going to show you all of our stone colors, everything in our offering. We do have this little bitty hidden button, click here, that if you click that, takes you to all the different finishes. And these are the finishes we can do on our flat work tiles. So anything from flooring to backsplash tiles, anything you're putting that's just actually a tile format, we can do all of these finishes. We have other finishes we can do architecturally, but they're a little more limiting, but this applies to all of our flat work. So you just hover over each of the little tile samples, and it'll give you a quick description of what the finish is, and also it'll give you the name of the finish. We can also take you back up to the top of the screen, because you can search the stones if you know what type of stone you're looking for, marble, travertine, limestone, whatever, or if you want to filter it out by color, you can click that here as well. I like to do the little Control F for find and just type in there whatever stone I'm looking for, because I know the name, but if you don't, you can use those other filters. This is a great way to pull up information about the particular material. We show several tiles here to give you color range of the material to see how much veining and how much light and dark shading, because we pretty much guarantee range in all of our stones. It's just a matter of how much range and whether it's shade variation, color variation, or the movement or the veining in the material. Below each picture within that stone, thumbnails, and this will show you again the finishes, because some of our stones are limited to the finishes we can do on them, but it'll list them all here for you so you can see, and then of course you can always go back down to the bottom of the page to get a better description. This will also take you to installation photos if we have some to share, information to the right about applications and freeze-thaw climates and anything you should consider with this material when you're specifying it. Technical data is also summarized here as well, but you can also click the download technical and get the sheet here as well. You can print that out if you need that, and it tells you a little bit more detail about each particular material. So that is just a quick overview, not to take up too much of the time that's meant for Lindy. I just wanted you guys to see that and know how to reference it when you're flipping through our website now that we've got these enhancements. and we are constantly updating this. So we're working on enhancing it to bring more information to you guys to make it easier when everybody's working remotely and doing more work from home and away from the office. So with that, I want to turn it over to Lindy. So I guess just take it from there, and I'm going to flip you back over to this presentation right here. So just tell me.
Beautiful webinar. Yes, we actually have a beautiful webinar right now, and Doranne has this downloaded so she can share it with anybody who would like to use it for their presentations or just general marketing purposes. We're a wonderful company. We've been in business since 2020, and I've been selling it just about that long. I started in Chicago with a high-end showroom on the North Shore of Illinois, and I sold this product for 13 years and watched it develop from something that I knew was really cool and really fun to sell into a force to be reckoned with in the design industry. And we're known for size, shape, and color. We are forever being innovative with new products, new textures, new shapes, new materials. It's actually such an incredibly fun company to work for because we never know what's coming next. And I think that's what keeps us all interested in design, is what's next. So that being said, we are also a wonderful company that has millions of square feet of stock in California. So please, all of you, help yourself to it. And we also have a warehouse on the East Coast in Pennsylvania. So that being said, we have plenty of material in stock most of the time. You know, there's that one-off chance that someone wiped it out 5 minutes before you got there. So
Always.
we do encourage people to, when working on larger projects, to please give us, time to get it.
Yeah, and I know that your pricing information that we have is pretty good about saying whether it's in stock or whether it's not. With the COVID,
honestly, it fluctuates. We're really, I work for such an amazing company that we are on a constant influx of material coming in containers daily. And we obviously know what our top selling SKUs are. So those are on a continuous cycle of being restocked. And, as new products come in and they take off, in popularity, we're pretty quick to jump on that trend and make sure that we have a decent amount of stock in California. That being said, means we make 8 or 10 shapes in every series. So if we can't find you one particular shape, we have 7 or 8 others that will certainly fit the bill if it's a last minute type of situation. But aside from that, size, shape, and color is what we're known for.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess we can flip through here and just give a brief overview. There we go. Just kind of the basic collections, because I think most people, like I say, are familiar with your glass tile, but I don't know how familiar they are with the other products. So I'm glad.
These are our Japanese ceramics, which are amazing, and they're a machine-made body. But again, like everything else, we have a handmade element to what we do, and these are all hand glazed. And this is the glaze we're looking at is called O'Keefe, and that is one colorway.
That's beautiful. I love that. And that's watercolors, which will come up here in a minute.
Right. So these are the other series in ceramic that we make, and they are all made in Japan. They're made in an area that are known for their high quality ceramic and glazes, and each series that we're highlighting here are unique and different and beautiful, each in their very own way.
And they're all going to be glazed ceramic except for maybe the graphite, which we can talk about that a little bit more when we get to it.
Graphite is a glazed ceramic.
It is? Okay. So it's a matte glaze?
It's a matte glaze, exactly. So that's the difference, is that it's not a shiny glaze, it's actually a matte glaze.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of scroll through and we can talk through each of the collections a little bit.
Shinju's my best friend. This is a series with some very unique shapes. The colorways here, absolutely beautiful. Kumamoto, Kushi, Moonstone, Pacific, and Olympia. We're looking at all of the Pacific here right now. And Pacific has obviously a lot of range to it. And that is the beauty of this tile, is that you get these beautiful highs and lows in color that accentuate the textures and just the beautiful flow of some of these patterns. And it's incredibly popular right now. We blow through stock on this like crazy.
And talk about that silhouette, because that one's interesting, where the grout plays a lot in.
Silhouette is a really fun, unique new shape. We introduced it at Coverings in 2019, and it is actually the body of the clay body that is glazed in Pacific is highlighted or accented with a lighter colored grout. So obviously, when you use the lighter colors in this series, you can do the reverse and use a dark colored grout and do something really fun. You know, this is one where I've had people install it as a focal point or take it apart and use it, you know, with other Shinju ceramics to create a wonderful visual pattern out of this. And it's just really pretty. We're enjoying it quite a bit.
I would love to see it in a large installation, because I think it's so striking. I think
it's quite stunning. And we did have that at Coverings, and people couldn't keep their hands off of it, which was kind of fun.
That was the ooh-ah factor. Ooh-ah.
Right, the ooh-ah factor, the wow factor, which I like to call it.
And we just talked about these because this is kind of that pearl oyster reference.
Right. So Kumamoto is just a solid white. Kushi has a little bit of an iridized surface and takes on that mother of pearl kind of look. Moonstone is a really pretty soft gray in probably 3 or 4 shades within that one color, and it's spectacular.
It's a little bit like a chameleon. I think it could go anywhere.
Exactly. And it's actually one of the shades, speaking of your stone, it works back into stone quite well. And Pacific and Olympia, as you can see, have quite a bit of shading to them. It's that beautiful hand glazed effect that you get when using metallic glazes, and these are quite pretty.
Gorgeous. And I know we talked about this too, but these are good for waterline if somebody wants to use it in a pool situation.
Not metallic. Everybody except the metallic. Right.
And this is great. Talk about the installation.
The
information.
Yeah, the usage guidelines are wonderful. Yeah. They're on the back of our A&D binders, and of course we're happy to get any of our architects or designers A&D binders for their offices or home offices, as it were.
Right.
But these are terrific, and you can quickly reference the usage for each series.
And I'm going to go to your website real quick just to bounce around, because I want to show at the very bottom what we talked about before, which was installation information and technical information. That's all here. It's all great for each of the series. You can go to applications and testing. For most of them, they're here. If they're not here, we can get them. And it literally shows you an expanded version of the applications with this downloadable page.
The usage guidelines, right.
Yeah.
Right.
You can see
actually, if you go back to the top there, on the right is a QR code, and you can hover your smartphone with the camera over that, and it'll take you right to the series that you're looking at the usage guideline for, even if it's a binder and you're a swatch, we have been putting QR codes on our marketing materials so that your phone will go directly to our website. And
That's great. So even on the swatches, the sample swatches?
Yes, yes.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, great tool. There we go.
Shinju Mirai. So Shinju performed so incredibly well for us in not only the residential market, but in the A&D market, that we expanded the series and came up with Shinju Mirai. And it's just an absolutely beautiful addition to what we already had in Shinju. And you'll see the unique shapes of paper and tent. We follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We have a lot of photography that goes up on there using so many of these beautiful shapes in incredibly interesting ways. You know, we think we're so smart being the salespeople who know this line inside and out, but when you have the opportunity to enjoy other people's creativity on Instagram and Facebook and see what they have come up with our beautiful tile, it's so much fun. It's so
I love that, yeah. And these, I think, are just larger format pieces and different textures.
They are.
In the Shinju.
They are. They're about 4x8 on all of the sizes, and we're finding larger format is definitely nice for commercial work, but no less popular in residential.
Yeah, we're finding that too
as well.
So those are your colors again. Same color palette, just in the larger format pieces.
Right, right. Interior, exterior. You know, depending on the size, you know, obviously it's going to make a difference with floor application, wet applications, and so on. Graphite's so pretty. This has a really interesting, almost chalkboard or even the sandblasted kind of finish to it. It's a hand applied glaze. The ceramic actually has some texture and movement to it. And we're making 3 shapes in this series, and it's a fun series to play with.
And I like the description because it describes it pretty well, the soft pencil or charcoal and the coloring. It's actually what it really looks and feels like that when you get it.
Exactly. So 3 very simple but beautiful shapes. And we worked this back into Shinju. We've worked this back into, you know, several of our glass series. We make a hex in a 4-inch size that is stunning with the graphite. So that's...
and I like that 4-inch hex size is interchangeable with several of your collections. So you've got the dimensional piece, you've got the flat piece, you've got the glass, you've got this graphite, and all of that can really be worked in together to make an amazing custom project.
Exactly, exactly.
Applications again.
Namibia took me probably an entire coverings a few years ago to figure out how to let it roll off my tongue seamlessly and not
without getting tongue-tied. Yeah,
completely tongue-tied. This is a spectacular product, and this is where the term reproducible art really, really came to life. And I feel that this is something that you really just have to touch it and see it to see just how incredibly beautiful and artistic this tile is. Each mold is hand cut, and you really would be hard pressed to find more than 1 or 2 pieces that are alike. The crescent on the right has been hugely popular.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's just spectacular. And the whole series in itself is what sets us apart from, you know, the average tile manufacturer.
And keep in mind too that the grout plays a big role in anything that's circular, obviously, without straight edges. And
dune, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was going to say all of these need the grout, but except for the dune, right?
Well, the dune we don't actually grout. You can butt join it. You can grout it if you'd like to. You know, they'd have to cake bag it. The square ripples is actually a really unique installation that we did at Coverings, where we used a tinted thin set behind and set the material on top of it, so that all you saw behind it was the dark tinted thin set. Say that 10 times fast. And it's not intended for a wet application, obviously, because there is no grout. You could grout it. It would be very labor intensive. So that's where the tinted thin set came in. You know, the crescent and the round ripples are fine for wet applications. The round ripples you can actually use on the floor in a residential low traffic area.
That's really pretty.
It is. It's amazing. And when you look at the Namibia desert, you feel it instantly.
Mm-hmm.
The real Namibia desert.
Yeah.
Watercolors, again, another super simple but incredibly lovely series. We have two shapes here, the picket and the post. And again, two simple shapes, but the glazes are really what makes this series so lovely. And the O'Keefe, which is on most of our marketing, is on the multicolored teal green pattern. And you know, you just see how lovely it is. And the colors coming up are a super crisp white, which is Whistler. Dur, I like to call it the most perfect color of thick cream, because it's not too yellow.
Yes.
It's not too light. It's right in between. Turner has, just like the Sargent, a little bit of an iridized surface to it. And I call Sargent my Martha Stewart green, gray, blue. She has those wonderful chicken eggs that look like that. And
Yes.
oh, it's the prettiest color. I can't even tell you. It's beautiful.
I love those. And they all have subtle movement except for O'Keefe, which obviously is pretty drastic. But the Whistler and the Dur, they're pretty consistent in color.
Very consistent. They're not iridized like Turner and Sargent, but they're no less beautiful. And hand glazed again, all of it. Canoe. And Adora. We adore a canoe.
She's so cute.
She's such a pretty baby. She's
right.
But this is Canoe, and Canoe is actually a very unique series because of the glazes, and not only the glazes, the shapes for sure. There we go. We have the buoy, the keel, the plank, and then we make a liner in all of our ceramic series that actually is finished all the way around, so it can be used as a trim piece. And
nice.
down to those colors, I will show you. Thank you very much. So the first three colors, Vale, Sandbar, and River Rock, are single fired glazes. So these can be used in multiple applications. They're a little more versatile than the luster glazes. The luster glazes are stunning. They are new car finish shiny. They're double fired. They're intense beauty. Just comes through in just how gorgeous these glazes and colors are. And we also do some blends with the colors, and they're just some really fun blends. Lighthouse is probably selling the best for me right now in the Southeast and the Maritime, because we get gray and white, and of course anything that's blue sells like crazy.
Right. And we haven't really talked about it yet, but most of your collections can be customized, right?
All of our glass is custom. Most of our glass is customizable. Really the ceramic, they come from the factory as they are, and we don't have a lot of room to play with those. Okay. But I will tell you that with our glass, we can do some incredible things with blending and shading and colors, and it's actually really fun to play with. We just introduced a new series called Elements, and I spent probably a good 45 minutes creating some blends of my own to experiment with and try out in my territory. And it just lends a very unique edge to anyone's design. You know, it's really like giving someone the opportunity to create their own art.
Yeah, which I love. So it's really just the glass and not the ceramic. So that's good to know.
Yes, yes.
Got it.
Concrete's an amazing collection. Contours has been around a couple years, and we actually own the factory in Oceanside, California. This is Trifecta, and this was actually a panel that we had at the entry of our booth at Coverings a few years ago, and it was amazing. Too many children with chocolate on their hands touched it, but I will tell you something. No one could keep their hands off of it.
Oh yeah.
And it's a cast concrete. We make all of our own molds. They're all original designs. And what I like best about the pictures you just pulled up is it is showing how the 4-inch hex from old fashioned works back into our beautiful concrete. And we have the fanfare, we have the flat hex, and we have the old fashioned.
And I love that can all go together. And the one from the graphite would work in here too, right?
Absolutely. And I will tell you something, again, Instagram and Facebook, we have some amazing installations that some of our dealers across the nation have shared with us. And it is so much fun to look at how creative people are with the right tools.
And what's great about this, and this is another way to kind of incorporate materials marketing stone, is because we can cut any size.
Oh my gosh.
We could do the 4-inch hexagons because we do everything from a very small mosaic all the way up to a 24-24. So we can incorporate a 4-inch hex to work with this too. And if the floor is the stone and then the stone is incorporated into the wall, and all of it can be coordinated. So
oh my gosh, think about that right now, having your countertop incorporated into, you know, your wow wall, and oh my goodness, that would be crazy.
Showers connected, the deco's connected, everything's connected. So, and we want to talk about your quarter rounds too, your moldings. We can also do moldings too, depending on what you need out of the stone, but you guys have those and quarter rounds as well, right?
We do quite a bit of pools. And in the Southeast, I will tell you, well, this is more of the concrete, but we do make a couple trim pieces here that are really nice. You know, the color palette here, if you could scoot down a little bit more, the color palette here is just oh, here's some more examples, which I love.
Yeah.
But the color palette here is it's so incredible that we can offer so many. That's really interesting. That's a single color in those patterns. And this was another installation we had in the booth that people couldn't keep their hands off because they really thought that it was, you know, 3 colors going on here.
Yeah. That's
very
great.
unique. But here are the colors. The colors are wonderful. And these colors actually lend themselves to a multitude of surfaces, stone, you name it. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, because I can see a lot of these tying back into almost every stone we have. There would be a partner, multiple partners to go with something like this. So this would be stunning.
Right. Like I said, quite a few to choose from.
Yeah, the palette's great. And I think I even have a sample box of just maybe 4-inch color samples.
Yeah, I think I dropped that with you when I was with you last time. Yep.
I love that.
And we're great. Our sampling is wonderful. We make some beautiful swatches. We make A&D books. You know, if you're working on a very large project and you need a grouted sample, we're happy to help with that. Usually in normal times, we can turn that around within a week. Now it might be a tiny bit longer.
A little longer, but not bad at all. It's very quick.
Very cool.
And I love it because we have most of the binders at the showroom too. So it's a great resource if people want to pop in there. And then if we need to order samples, then we can order it after they
easy.
Good visual from them. So between our display walls and then all the A&D binders we have, and then we can also get sets for clients' showrooms and things like that too.
Right. Glass is something. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. You know, I get so excited about this stuff. I hold myself back. Glass is actually one of our biggest categories. I am based in Florida, so I travel Florida, the Caribbean, basically all throughout the Southeast, and glass has just been such a huge force in in the industry, in the tile industry for the last, oh my goodness. I mean, I've been selling it. That's what attracted me to Stone and Pewter Accents, Lunada Bay Tiles since 2000.
Yeah.
And wow. And really and truly, what makes us so unique here is every piece is different. Every single piece in a sheet is different. And the way our tile is made is such a beautiful ancient craft that you do create something that is so unique and so special that, you know, there's a lot of imitators of our glass out there. No one's nailed it. And I can tell the difference in a heartbeat, because the quality of what we do, the colors that we use, is hands down the best I've ever seen. So
Tell me a little bit about your testing, because I think
oh sure.
that's a big factor because of the bond that needs to happen with glass because of the installation and things like that.
Absolutely.
Applications, but
well, glass is a very unique material. It with heat and cold, it expands and it contracts, and it needs to be treated with the attention that it deserves. We've gone to great lengths to create installation guides. They're all on our website. We have made videos. We've actually done quite a few seminars out in our dealer, you know, our big, you know, our markets out in all of our territories. So we spend a lot of time and energy on installation, because to me, you know, obviously you can have a beautiful tile, but if it's installed wrong, we all know, you know, it can just take something that was beautiful and make it horrible. So
I know, and you definitely want it to go, like if you're going to spend the money on something gorgeous, you want it to be done right. And yeah, but
well,
it's cool just referencing the instructions because everything is there that they need. Yeah.
I preach instructions to every single salesperson I work with personally, which is hundreds of people in my territory. And I had 13 installers on my payroll when I had my own store up in Chicago. And I will tell you something, there is definitely a craftsman sort of touch to making sure delicate material like glass is installed correctly. And there are a lot of very important steps that need to be followed. And again, you know, Lunada Bay Tile has gone to great lengths to educate people, to create installation instructions in multiple languages, installation instructions in English, which I'm having a hard time with right now, that are easy to understand. I call them the Cliff Notes version of installation. So installation is key here. So we spend a lot of time and money on it.
And I looked, you actually have 18 collections of glass. So there are a lot to go through. I think the way I filter through them, the easiest is figuring out which glass collections are more of the opaque glass with the movement versus the ones that are more translucent, kind of just clear single color, and then the large format. That's kind of the way I break it out in my head.
Which is perfect. You've been taught well. The agate is actually an opaque glass, and it's very, it feels a lot like the Murano glass that you would find in Italy. And we have some beautiful vases at corporate that the owner of the company sent back. And when you look at our tile next to these beautiful vases, it's just so incredible to me that he captured that, you know, centuries old practice of making Murano glass into this incredible tile. And this is I call this the mortgage fund, college fund, and everything else all wrapped up in one series because it performs so incredibly well for our company. We've added some new shapes just recently. We added the 1x3 offset brick, which is pool friendly when installed correctly.
That's fantastic.
And we have the 1x4 brick. We have, if you scroll down a little further, we have the 1¼ by 5 and the dash, which are some great, and the zing, sorry, and the zing, which are beautiful new shapes that we just recently added. And we've also added some new colors to this series because it does perform so incredibly well. Matera, she's stunning. She looks like mother of pearl with no maintenance and really no fear of it, you know, peeling or doing anything that shell could possibly do. Torino, new color, performing incredibly well. And one of my favorites, Amalfi, which looks like the Amalfi in Italy. It's beautiful. And Alacio, she's next. Very beautiful pale green color.
Just a good palette. And you know, again, it's got the color variation in there. They work really great with our stones, and we do so much of this in wet areas, pools, showers, you know, a lot of it. And a lot of it comes from this collection.
Right. Bari, Torino, and really Bari and Torino work so well back into stone that that is possibly why they're our #1 sellers in Alacio. They all work well back into stone.
Great colors.
Tommy Bahama. Tommy Bahama is a license that a few of our exclusive dealers have access to, materials marketing being one of them. And this is a license that we have through Tommy Bahama, and the patterns and the color blending, everything about it is very evocative of the whole Tommy Bahama lifestyle, and just very unique colorways that I'll have to just, they're just, some of these have just gone together so beautifully that, to be honest with you, we can't keep several of the colorways in stock. So I won't tell you who they are so that you can.
Right. It's a great display though. I love it. And everybody who comes in the showroom gravitates towards that collection.
Hyacinth's beautiful. This is an example of some translucent glass that we make. We have a few patterns here that are tried and true favorites: the 1x1 offset, the barcode, the 1x2 brick, 1x4, and 1x4 herringbone. So you have quite a few shapes to choose from, but the colors here are just really what sets it apart. And again, translucent, and just gives you some really beautiful highs and lows of coloring. Tozen is the contemporary edge glass series that she has been around for quite some time and sells incredibly well for us. You can see all of the beautiful options and sizes and shapes. And these are just, you're looking at single colorways here. So that kind of gives you an idea of how these beautiful oxides all blend together to create these colorways. And it's just a very unique process, and often imitated, never duplicated. So.
And then I forget to mention, but there's sometimes there's a natural and a silk, which is a shiny or a matte. Sometimes there's a pearlescent finish, which I forget the name.
Pearl.
Each collection's a little different.
The silk finish is beautiful because to me it reminds me of beach glass, is what I typically call it when I'm showing it. And the natural has just a really pretty natural glass, you know, finish to it. And pearl is just a lightly iridized finish that really kind of makes the colors pop. And you'll see that in agate more than and elements than in many other series. Shibui's beautiful. It's a combination of a translucent and an opaque glass. So the light shines through the tile. It has highs and lows. color palette's very pretty.
Yeah, those are gorgeous.
Jaw is something that we came out with late last year, and it has been a really, really big success for us. And we introduced two shapes that were modified for pools. And if you scroll down a little bit for me, we actually have this on the website, so you can see the height and I do believe too that we've had an update. The feather border is actually going to get one more row so that it's closer to a 6-inch waterline tile. The nice thing about this is the top and the bottom of these paper face mounted sheets are finished. They're pre-cut, pre-finished, smooth edges. We have found these to be very popular. I thought they would really go bananas for them in the pool industry, which they have. We're finding people using them in showers and backsplashes and all kinds of other really cool, installation ideas that we hadn't come up with. But I will tell you, pool waterline tile is the way to go with this. And again, we go into great detail on submerged application in the installation instructions. Glass is not like slapping up a 6x6 porcelain or even a 2x2 porcelain. This is a completely different material and needs to be treated with great care and the respect that it deserves.
Agreed. And this is great because there's no field cutting needed. It's already to the shape and size you need. You just install it basically right out of the box if you want to blend the color. But yeah.
Interlocking sheets.
Yep.
And there's your specs on it, your usage guideline.
Fully submerged, no problem. That's perfect. There you are. There's your bars.
Bars are good. Bars are something that we've sold for quite some time now. I use these bars and I encourage my salespeople to use our bars throughout any project. They look gorgeous with stone in a stone installation. They come in pearl. Many of them come in different finishes. So the website does show which bars come in what finishes. But again, such a great way to add a little color to an installation and or even just use it as a finishing piece.
It's really pretty.
There's the shapes and finishes.
And like anything, because these are thicker, we might want to sample it so you can see the color, because if you're making sure it's going to work with one of the mosaics, the thicker the glass, the richer the color. So we just want to make sure it's going to work.
And a side note, of course, like anything, if you're trying to hit an exact color, don't rely on a showroom sample. Get a piece of the current lot because it is handmade. And
and that's for this. That would be for any of the glass mosaics too. Really.
Exactly.
Yeah. Different finishes again there too, pearl and silk.
This is where we talk about our custom blending, which we have the capabilities in California to do this for you under a certain amount, quantity wise, just because, we have several people doing this, but, it's something that we like to do a larger order at the factory if at all possible. But that being said, this is a beautiful way to create your own artwork, put your stamp on a project with a color palette that works with the rest of your interiors. Just a really great tool to have. And when we added this to our offering several years ago, it just became wildly popular. And you can see
is there a quantity that you prefer, like it's this much or above, or okay?
No, we'll make 5 sheets. We'll make 555 sheets. I've even offered to make 5,500 sheets. So that means have at it.
Go crazy.
Go crazy.
And then lead times, how does it affect customs versus Like how long does it normally take to create a custom?
The custom blend, if we make it in California under 100 square feet, is typically 4 to 6 weeks. If we make it at the factory, it's probably 12 to 14 weeks, depending on, you know, what time of the year it is and how busy we are. And
Yeah, production times there. Okay.
our marketing
All these
materials, which
things.
is, of course, great for our sub dealers and our pool showrooms and so on and so forth. There's the quarter round. That is a little display tabletop display that we make. And
Oh, that's cute.
yeah, and we can actually make quarter rounds out of any series that has a 1x1 glass mosaic in it. We have the kiln in California. The finish on the quarter rounds is just one finish. It comes out natural because the pearl burns off on that firing, and if it's matte or silk, it goes back to its natural state, which is natural.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. Well, Lindy, thank you for sharing some great information with us today. I hope everybody learned a little or a lot, but even if you take away one thing new, that's hopefully that'll help you specify this material on your next project and kind of team it with our stone and blend it all together. So hopefully we'll be able to have this video where you can see it again and view it on our website. There'll be links to it, or possibly something we'll direct you to through a video series like Lunada Bay has on theirs. Please like our video, share our video, visit both of us on all of our social media platforms for just inspiring ways to customize your projects using Lunada Bay Tile and Materials Marketing Stone. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lindy. Thank you for being here today and being our first flagship video series person. Yay!
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This was so much fun, and I can't wait till I can see you again.
Definitely. Well, thanks again. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Take care.
You too.